Hello everyone, welcome! I'm going to be doing another stitching card in today's video using the Spellbinders July Stitching Die of the Month. This is a pretty snowflake one. It could be used for Christmas or winter. It's called Stitched Snowflake Card Front. So this club kit comes with these 3 dies, a panel, a stitched snowflake, and a little stitching center. And then there's an add-on if you want to purchase this separately, and it comes with more sentiments. They say peace, Noel, and for you. So it gives you a few options for sentiments and shapes. This die right here measures 5.5 by 4.25, so it'll fit your A2 sized card perfectly. And it's not a stitching die. The only thing you're going to stitch is the snowflake, and if you want the center of the snowflake. It just fits perfectly inside the snowflake right there. So let's get started. I cut out the large panel with some white cardstock. It's kind of hard to see how this looks with the white cardstock, but I do change this out for a gray cardstock. And here is the beautiful snowflake. I cut out 2 so that I can glue them together just to make it a little more sturdy, and it just fits perfectly on the card front. I'll use some liquid glue to attach these together, and I'll speed this up for the sake of time. I'm using the Barely Arts Precision Glue. You can purchase that at Spellbinders and other places too, but I like the thin tip of the nozzle on this glue. I chose some teal blue embroidery floss to stitch this with. I'm just going to stitch one side on camera. It's very easy stitching. I kept getting the embroidery floss stuck on the sides of the snowflake. It's kind of hard to show you this on camera. And again, I use maybe a little bit too long of a piece of embroidery floss. But I do that because I don't like changing them out. I try to get it all done with one strand of embroidery floss. I'm starting at the bottom of one of the snowflake arms, and I'll work my way up. So I went in the center, and then there are 2 little arms on either side that you have to go in. So I just go back and forth and then continue up the arm of the snowflake. This would look really pretty with some silver embroidery floss. I'll have to try that one. I think I will make a few more of these to have on hand for my Christmas cards this winter. And then once you get to the top, you can go around the circle with the back stitching, but I'm just going into one hole and then down into the opposite hole to make another little snowflake in the center of this. There's probably a lot of different ways that you can do this. And then I will do the rest of the stitching off camera. And here is a close-up look at the first arm of the snowflake. Isn't that pretty? So I cut out the panel again with some lunar gray cardstock from Spellbinders, and I'm adding a little bit of white pigment ink to this. I'm going to use a brush for this panel, just blend it on a little more smoothly with a brush. And I just want a soft look behind the snowflake. So I didn't put too much on. Next, I'm going to glue down the snowflake. I'll use a little bit of dot liner in the center and then glue around the arms. And I'm just going right over the thread. Then I can center this on the panel and put down my sentiment. I chose to use the sentiment that says Noel. I cut out this hexagon with some silver mirror cardstock, and I'll put that down first. And then I use the fishtail die to cut out more of the silver mirror, and then the sentiment with some red cardstock. And I'll glue the red cardstock onto the silver. And it looks so pretty because you can see the silver from behind the sentiment. And then I can glue that down next. It's kind of slippery with the mirror cardstock, and it does take a little longer to dry. There we go. I'll just center that. I added a few gems around this panel, and here it is all done. This was a really fun club kit to play with, and I'm thinking of making Christmas tree ornaments with this Snowflake die, stitching die. It's so pretty. I hope you enjoyed this close-up look at the stitching die of the month from Spellbinders. Again, it's called Stitched Snowflake Card Front, and the small add-on die set is called Tiny Merriment die set. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll have the links listed below. Have a wonderful day. Bye.